Today on Front Row Center, we'll be sitting down with the master of the Las Vegas entertainment industry, going behind the scenes of a university dance production and learning how to use our voices for maximum effect. Front Row Center starts right now. Everyone, welcome to another episode of Front Row Center. I'm Nakaya Berry.
And I'm Deshola Balogan.
Now we've made it through half of the season now.
I know, and I don't even want it to end yet. It's going by so fast.
But we still have plenty of more art and entertainment for you. So to distract you from worrying about the season ending already, let's play a game.
Oh, you know I like games. Which game are we going to play?
Kiss, marry, or leave in the dirt?
Oh, we're going to take it back a little bit. Who are my options?
Okay, so out of these three celebrities, which one would you kiss, marry, or leave in the dirt?
Okay.
Serena Williams.
Okay.
Kylie Jenner. Or Hillary Clinton.
Okay, well, you got me there with Kylie Jenner. Anyone who knows me, they know that I'm a little bit of a fan of Kylie Jenner, so I'm going to have to marry Kylie just because, you know, I can see her every day, I can kiss her every day, so I'll go with Kylie. I think I'll kiss Hillary Clinton, only because if she does become president, how cool would that be to say, you know what, I got to kiss the president, you know? First lady president. And then Serena Williams, I don't think she's for me, so I'll leave Serena Williams. But, okay, it's your turn. Who would you kiss, marry, or leave in the dirt out of Justin Bieber,
okay,
Denzel Washington, or Donald Trump?
Really? Okay, without any questions, I'm gonna marry Donald. No, never mind.
No,
just kidding.
Not Donald. Okay.
I'm gonna leave him in the dirt. And Denzel, come on, you have to marry him.
Every lady wants to marry Denzel.
Justin Bieber, I'll give a little kiss to him.
Okay, well that's fair. But speaking of the politicians, I actually saw one of them performing at a coffee house, and I mean, talk about innovative campaigning. Former Maryland governor and Democratic presidential candidate Martin O'Malley decided to take a different campaign approach and visit this coffee house right behind me.
Hold that thought. Well, I was in Nevada all day, and then I heard about the coffee shop, and my able friends and staff said, yeah, we should gather here at the end of the night. So it was an opportunity to get up, play a little bit of music with some nice people here in downtown Las Vegas. Sailing is my pride, I bend my back to labor, ride out on the tide, it's been my joy since I was a boy. You guys are very important. First there's Iowa, then there's New Hampshire, then there's Nevada. Yeah. So you have it in your power to elect the next president. Yeah. And so I'm here to flatter you and gain your support. I'm here to set up an organization as I run for president. I intend to win, and you can't win unless you set up an organization in Nevada. Who helped me in my stride. Drudging is my drudgery. It's actually the very first Democratic debate. We've made a big mistake, I think, as a party in letting the Republican debates go unanswered for so long. But now we're finally going to have our debates. And in a way, I think this is really the start of the Democratic campaign. Well, we plow the seas on Monday, and we push on Tuesday too. We've had a kind of arrested development, if you will, until now. And now people will be able to see the candidates that we have to offer and the vision that we have for our country. As you skip across the rocks, start to think.
For Front Row Center, I'm Deshola Balogan.
In 1977, an 8-year-old boy picked up the game of golf from his father. The odds of that same boy then making it to the US and European Pro Golf Tours, 1 in 7 million. The odds of the Big Easy winning the US Open twice, 1 in 1.2 billion. The odds of him having a child diagnosed with autism, 1 in 88. Ernie Els encourages you to learn the signs of autism.
Did you know kids who play outdoors have healthier lungs?
Totally.
Did you know that boys that play with dolls make better husbands?
My son has lots of dolls.
But did you know terry cloth diapers breathe better?
I did.
It's totally true.
Oh, yeah.
Did you guys know statistically friendly kids have more friends?
Yeah.
That's obvious.
Did you know most people think they're using the right car seat for their kid, but they're not?
Parents who really know it all know for sure that their child is in the right seat. Visit safercar.gov/the right seat to make sure your child is protected.
The Las Vegas Book Fest celebrates local authors and their amazing work. Nakaya attended the festival, and here's her report.
The Las Vegas Book Festival, now in its 14th year, celebrates written, spoken, and illustrated word while attendees share the joys of reading.
Oh, everybody's just happy, and there's lots of kids. It's a perfect place to be for a family. A lot of middle grade and high school kids too, with big stacks of books.
The festival networks together organizations and sponsors to offer a one-stop shopping experience for literature.
Oh, well, definitely some free books, which is always a wonderful thing to get. And just meeting some local authors, some authors that have actually traveled to be here, meeting some local people who are running local literary journals, and just in general of being around lots of books and lots of people who love to read.
It was very rewarding to give away books to children. They were so happy.
The Las Vegas Poetry Organization brought poetry to life for the community.
To actually see the poetry in front of you being performed makes you feel like poetry is more important within daily life because you can feel it in your body and it affects you.
The festival promotes the networking of local literature organizations to help serve their audiences better.
I get to see what other people are doing and get to talk to them about the writing process and publishing and, being able to get their books out as well. As obviously get to meet lots of fun people and, again, because I write for children, try to also be able to, expose them to my books as well.
It opens up their imagination whenever time they read, and also it is when they see adults doing something great for them, it makes them feel good.
I love that this event is here to foster knowledge within our community and to inspire people to communicate, to inspire them to read, to write, to publish things. It's a dying art.
I definitely recommend it, even if you're not a writer or maybe you're not even an avid reader. There's a little something here for everyone.
If you missed the Las Vegas Book Festival this year, there's always next year. Reporting for Front Row Center, I'm Nakaya Berry. Welcome back. We're here with Review Journal columnist Norm Clark. Thank you so much for being here.
My pleasure.
Last time I saw you, you were cracking open a cake at the Oktoberfest event.
I've got a lot of experience at that, at the Hofbräu House.
Yes, and that was a really fun experience. I'm sure you have a lot of fun experiences with the type of writing that you're involved in at the Review Journal. Tell me about that.
Oh, well, I've always said it's the greatest job in the world because you get to cover, an unbelievable city with celebrities coming in on a regular basis. Some are really fabulous people, and some kind of forget that after a couple of tequilas that they should behave a little better.
Are you talking about the celebrities right there?
Yeah, I'm talking about the celebrities.
And dealing with celebrities, what is something that you notice? I'm sure you come in contact with them a lot more than the average person. So what are some differences you notice?
Well, the biggest thing I've noticed is that entertainers have a combination of things that make them great. You don't see very many entertainers that have made it to this level that aren't really good with people. It isn't just about their ability. They know how to deal with people. They know how to treat people, and for the most part, that's about 95% of what I see.
So overall, good.
Yes.
Okay, that's great to hear.
Yeah.
And you've been writing for the entertainment industry for a long time. How has your experience been?
Well, it's like I said, the best job in the world. I started off as a sports writer, and I worked for the Associated Press for 16 years. Then I got a job in Denver, and from sports I went to Man About Town, and I really loved it because you get a chance to reflect the personality of the community, and in so many ways. And I thought that coming to Las Vegas would be really as good as it gets, and it really truly has been, because there are, as an old AP guy, there's just such a wide variety of stories to do.
And what have you learned most from all the stories that you've written?
Well, you got to work hard. You got to develop great sources. You've got to love what you do, because it's going to require a lot of time involved in it. And my advice to anybody that wants to get in this business is be prepared to work your butt off, but come in loving it. If you don't love it, no job is going to be that much fun.
Good advice. And the Las Vegas entertainment industry, I mean, we're the capital of the world. So what do you have to say about being inside and all of the entertainment?
Well, there's a lot of responsibility that goes along with it. I came here knowing that that it was definitely a step up from the Denvers and others, from the standpoint of what kind of news you're going to be dealing with. And I wondered if I should step up from a standpoint of making it more edgy, or and I thought, my background is AP, greatest training ground in the world. Why move away from that? And it's served me well here, because I basically follow the tenets of J school journalism, and that is get both sides out there, be fair, and work extra hard to make sure you're fair.
And before we go, you have to tell us your most outrageous or crazy story that you've experienced.
Most outrageous, crazy story. Well, I've been, I've written some stories that were taken, people weren't happy with, and I've been in a couple of physical situations, and I think that Pete Rose and Chris Angel would probably say I had it coming. And I felt that in both cases that I was reporting basically what I was reporting news that it was okay to be reporting.
Yes, and that's the only right way to do it.
I believe so. I think I was fair.
Great. Well, we're definitely going to look forward to more of your writing in the Review Journal. Thank you so much for coming.
My pleasure. Thanks for inviting me.
Don't go anywhere. Deshola and I are taking some voice lessons when we come back.
Ever wonder what makes us, the Smurfs, so happy? The forest, of course. This is where we, along with the beautiful forest creatures, make our home with beautiful plant life, clean water, and endless adventures. It's a place to celebrate. So Discover the forest with your family today. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
We have a job to do out here today.
To be a winning team, you have to work like a winning team.
My team depends on me.
And my team is 50,000 strong. Looks like a lot of work's going into this.
This is what it feels like to be part of a team.
A winning team.
The Action Team.
Are you in? Action Team! Action!
Get in on the action at actionteam.org. Are you in?
For others, it may have just been a summer job. But for me, it was training. Now I'm an Air Force pararescueman, and my job is to save lives. Make the right choices today and be ready for the challenges tomorrow. This message is brought to you by the U.S. Air Force.
You always made sure I brushed my teeth.
You told me that smart was cool.
You always told me to dream big.
To all of those parents who took the time to make raising their children their most important job, we'd like to say,
thank you.
Thank you.
From the bottom of my heart, thanks, Mom and Dad.
This message is brought to you by the U.S. Air Force.
UNLV School of Music and Department of Dance have collaborated once again to bring you an Orchestra 2. This is an event that only takes place once every 2 years. Check it out.
For Dance and Orchestra 2, collaboration is the key.
This production is largely the School of Music through the UNLV Orchestra and the Department of Dance together, but we also have Dave Rao from the Sculpture Department in the Department of Art engaged in doing all the scenic design for the piece. It's just a simple idea, like wouldn't it be great if we had some live music and live dance together? That everything about the art form was living and happening in the theater right now, not recorded, kind of a beautiful collaboration.
The students have an opportunity to work with a live orchestra, and that typically doesn't happen in a university setting. It doesn't even happen sometimes in a regional ballet setting or a regional company, modern company, any company.
Giving students the chance to work together with some really difficult music and a live orchestra is preparing them for the real world.
Seeing what goes on backstage, how to get ready, how to run rehearsals, be on time, just everything is really professional.
I think it's great practice for like the professional world, and I think at a lot of universities they don't get this opportunity to work with a full symphony.
There's many challenging aspects of performing music like this, but I think we have such a short amount of rehearsal time, and so there's so much pressure to throw everything together at once, and then we come in here for these dress rehearsals with the dancers, and we only have so many runs, and then we have to go.
Stravinsky is kind of consistent, and then all of a sudden it falls off. So that's a challenge for the dancers, and it's a challenge for the musicians, and they all rise to it, and that's amazing. If you expect it out of the students, they give it to you.
Expectations are high for this performance, and everyone here is up for the challenge. For Front Row Center, I'm Stephen Bixby.
We're here now with Remy Cornell, acting and voice professor here at UNLV. Thank you for being here.
It's my pleasure.
So when you were younger, did you ever think that you'd be able to put your vocal talents into a profession?
Well, I didn't think I knew at the time that there's acting, there's singing, and there's also voice work. I was always a singer when I was young, so I knew I would be singing somehow or some way. And then so singing was always a part of it, and ironically I don't do that anymore because the singing led me to wanting to really learn the craft of acting, because singers who don't act well drive me crazy. And I really wanted to learn to act because I think, like Stephen Sondheim says, he'll take the better actor over the better singer every day. So I went to a musical theater undergrad, and then I wanted to go to grad school because I wanted to learn to act. So I went to a classical training program. And then, so I was a singer who acted, and by the time I got to New York, it switched from being an actor who sings well, even though all of my first auditions, you know, were all musicals. And then I just slowly went to just straight acting. Don't do many musicals anymore, so singing, voice. And then the voice work came out of, I started doing voiceovers in New York, very serendipitously.
Oh.
When I was in graduate school, we had Pat McCorkle, who's a huge casting director in New York, had come and done a workshop with our grad class, and we made a, you know, voiceover demo. It wasn't very good at the time, but made a voiceover demo. And I got to New York, and all those years ago, your demo turned into, it was still cassettes.
Oh,
Do you know what a cassette is? So
I remember what a cassette is.
What a cassette
yes.
is. Right. And so you would sort of get your CD, and then you'd make these cassettes with a J card. Do you know what a J card is?
No.
Oh my gosh.
What is a J card?
A J card in a cassette, there's the paper where there's the picture.
Yeah, I know what that is.
And it's shaped like a letter J,
Yeah.
so it goes on the back sleeve. So I had my little, you know, voiceover stuff, and I sent out these cassettes. I mean, didn't really hear
It's like
from
a demo,
anybody.
right?
It's a demo, but they were cassettes at the time.
Mhm.
And mine happened to have gotten in the hands of ICM, which is one of the 3 biggest agencies in the world. And I was with ICM for 8 years. I've been with the same agent for voiceover agent for 21 years now. And the voice work, I didn't really know sort of the sound of my voice, or I knew there was something about voiceovers. I just, you know, but it was really too polished at the time to get on the mic. And then eventually I started learning the technique of doing voiceovers. And that's actually what paid the bills, because we don't make a lot of money doing theater. So I was extremely lucky and fortunate to be with one of the biggest agencies and with my same agent now, and to learn to do the voiceover work, which pays, you know, for the babysitter and pays the rent, because we don't make money. So but a great part to the voiceover work is that it's also very target specific. And my agent, Robin Stacher, she was very smart, because I'm behind the mic, so you can't hear me. And being biracial, I always refer to myself as black, but I can do black market and the other markets, Caucasian, white market, because advertising is very target specific. So she was smart to see double the money. So
you got to do both.
I do both, yeah.
And what?
Which is hard, because I have a lot of friends, a lot of my sister friends, and you're like, how do you do everything? Because there's a lot of times I'll show up to an audition, and I'm the only brown person there. And because I can go back and forth. And my agent was smart enough to say, hey, that's truly non-traditional casting when you're behind the mic, because nobody sees you, or even the producers, until you book the gig. And sometimes I've never met any of the ad agency. I'm just in with the engineer, because we have ISDN. So it's probably the I think the genre where the playing field is quite even if you can do it. And that's what I liked about it, is that sometimes I do black spots, sometimes I do white spots, you know, so, but that was really kudos to my agent, because there's a lot of agents that aren't thinking that way. If they think you're brown, then you can only do,
So you got to do everything.
Yeah, yeah.
That's really
so,
cool.
Yeah.
And now you teach people how to become better
I do,
singers.
you know, and it's, I do. Not as much I do what we call voice for stage.
Voice for stage.
Right. I have a training called Linklater. I'm a master Linklater teacher. It's Kristen Linklater wrote the book Freeing the Natural Voice. It's a type of pedagogy that I learned in grad school, along with a movement technique called the Alexander technique. So that's stage stuff that I learned. So I teach that, but the voiceover training is a little bit different than stage training. So I do teach a voiceover class when I can get it in, when I have the facility, when I can get, so, and I know it's in high demand here. I just, you know, I haven't quite got it together. I teach it as an X course over in the music department over there. But Lori and I, we're going to make it over here and make it happen over here. We've only been talking about it for 4 years. So, but yeah, so then I do teach voiceovers, because there is a technique. I also teach at the SAG Foundation, Screen Actors Guild in New York and LA, at the Don LaFontaine Voiceover Lab. Don LaFontaine was famous for all those he was the trailer voice, and he donated and these labs. And so I also teach at both of those places.
Okay.
And I do privates here in New York.
All right, you guys, we'll be right back.
I'm here at the Pioneer Saloon. Built in 1913, it's the oldest bar in Clark County. The Pioneer Saloon offers stargazing tours. With over 18 different telescopes, you will be amazed at what you discover.
We go from looking at Andromeda Galaxy to planets to our sun, solar flares, and sunspots. On some of the tours, we build telescopes, and then you get to take that telescope home with you.
If your Star Journey tour lands on a Thursday night, you can enjoy a dinner and a show here in the museum.
A guy named Paul Kowski was shot and killed because he had 5 aces on the table. The dealer, Joel Armstrong, stood up and shot and killed him, and there's 3 bullet holes in the wall next door.
Thanks for stepping out with me. I'm Nakaya Berry. So are you going to check out the stars at the Pioneer Saloon now?
You know, I think I might have to, just because everyone always says that here in Vegas you can't really see all the stars, you know?
Yeah.
So I might have to drive out there, but you know, it's about that time.
What time is that?
What is trending, Nakaya?
All right, well, I'm sure you've already heard, but Oprah Winfrey just invested a large amount of stake into the Weight Watchers company.
Yeah, I heard about that, and it's so crazy because she only bought 10% of the company. Well, I guess 10% stake. It's kind of a lot, but it was $43.2 million.
Yeah, that's a lot.
It is, and then she already made $72 million off her investment.
Yeah, right when her name pops on anything, the stock will soar through the roof.
It's just crazy. I wish I owned the company.
Well, sorry, but that's a little bit ridiculous.
Well, I might. You never know.
But I look forward to seeing her partnership with Weight Watchers as they help defeat obesity.
Yes. And well, you guys, that wraps it up for us for today's show. But don't forget to leave us a comment or snap a pic on Facebook or Twitter.
And my favorite, hashtag FRCLV on Instagram. This is where art and entertainment collide.
I'm Deshaun Balogan.
And I'm Nakaya Berry. See you next week, Las Vegas.
Well, you know what?